Right, we are going to look at more colors. This little program draws 100 circles. So n goes from 0 to 99. We calculate the x and y coordinates for each of the circles. If you imagine the numbers being laid out in a grid like this, a number mod 10 is the x coordinate and the number mod y is the y coordinate. Right, and then we set the pen color and we draw a full circle. And at the moment, the pen color uses this color, a function of our own, and it's only returning red. So there are various ways of improving this make color function, and one way that we've already looked at is creating a new color with an RGB value. There are floats between 0 and 1. And in this case, we're simply scaling in and adding a little offset. And this produces the following picture. It's quite nice, and as n goes from 0 to 99, the color moves from blue to green to red. And that's fine, and we'll do this a lot. We've also looked at a different way of making colors by adding a component for the transparency. So we can add a fourth float here to say how transparent the color should be. And if we're using this method, we can actually see the circles in the drawing. Here are the blue circles, the green circles, and the red circles. And because they're semi-transparent, we can see through each circle to the other circles. But there's one other important way to manage colors, and that is using not RGB, which is one color system, but a different one called HSV or HSB. In that color system, we supply three values also, but only the first value determines the color. So the H in HSB stands for hue, that's the actual color. The S stands for saturation, how deep the color should be, and the B stands for brightness. So we're using a different call this time, once again these values should be from 0 to 1. But this time it's only the first parameter that actually determines the colors, and this is just the intensity and the brightness of the colors. So this looks very different, and we'll see that we get the full spectrum of colors starting at red, moving to orange and yellow and green, and then through to blue, magenta, and back to red. So this is fine, but we can actually see this approach to colors better if we, instead of drawing circles, we draw wedges around a circle. Then we get this color wheel. So this is really useful, especially if you want finer control over exactly what color you're using and moving the colors smoothly between each other, so there's no sudden transition between red and green, for example. We'll be using this routine a lot. So it's color.get HSB color and the three float values.